The second point is, not only are we to walk by the Word, but we are to win by faith. There's a little hymn, Faith, O faith is the victory. Faith, O faith is the victory. Oh, glorious victory that overcomes the world. That's what it's talking about. We win by faith. The key verse here, and this is the whole book basically from chapter 6 to 22, is them winning by faith. The key verse is Joshua 10 and verse 8. I'll have to read it for you all. Do not fear them, for I have delivered them into your hand. Not a man of them shall stand before you. He said, it doesn't matter if they have iron chariots. It doesn't matter if they have fortified cities. It doesn't matter if they're up on a hill and you have to go up a narrow path. He says, none of them will stand before you. I will destroy them all. There's none of them that can stand. Is there any fortress of sin in your life you're afraid of and you say, I can't win in that area? God says to you, 2 Corinthians 10, 4 and 5, cast down every high place, every thought, everything that exalts itself against the knowledge of Christ, and bring them all into captivity. He says, nothing can stand before me if you will walk by faith. Another verse is Deuteronomy 11:23. It says, the Lord will drive these nations out before you. He will dispossess greater and mightier nations than yourselves. No place in which the soles of your foot treads, or every place in which the sole of your foot treads will be yours. No man shall stand against you, verse 25 of Deuteronomy 11. And the Lord will put the fear of you upon all the land where you tread, just as He said to you. And that happened. They crossed the river, and guess what happened? The spies went in to Rahab's, and you know what she said? We know who you are. We heard what you did to Egypt. We heard that He's dried up the Jordan River. We're scared to death of you. Now, how do they know all that without the UPI and, the API and the USA Today and the Evening News? How did they know all that? God put the fear of the Jews, of the Israelites, of His people into all the people's hearts. We see that before. When Jacob's sons went and killed everybody in Shechem, it said the dread of the Lord fell on all the nations around and no one touched Jacob and his 12 sons. God is in charge. And He will do whatever it takes to protect and to cause His plan to be brought forward. Number 3, some verses I'll read you. 2 Corinthians 5:7. We walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 10, I already quoted, verses 4 and 5. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They're mighty. They pull down strongholds. And then he tells us how to do it, because it all starts in the mind. Sin starts in the mind. It doesn't start out here when we're, trying to get something. It starts right here when we want it. And when we think about it, when we regard iniquity in our hearts, the Lord won't hear us.